Good evening and welcome. I'm Chris Parnell.
Reporting from Moscow.
Tbilisi.
Times Square.
May your dreams be your only boundaries in life.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of GHS-TV's award-winning talk show, Crosstalk. I'm your host, Raneem Imam. Each week in this time slot, we take a look at different issues, personalities, and events that affect you and our community. What schools you attend throughout your life play a big part in who you become. And Shelby County is fortunate to have a wide range of schools for students and parents to choose from. Students who have a particular skill or who want certain curriculums, that's where optional school comes in. This week, we are taking a look at 3 optional schools and the programs they offer students. Later, we'll be joined by Ralph Sherlow from Wooddale High School and Allison Long from Germantown High School. But first, we want to introduce to you an optional school for middle school students, the Maxine Smith STEAM Academy. Let's take a look at what students have to say.
These activities are going to require you to have those conversations with each other in your group.
To be in the STEAM Academy, it's a great experience.
It's absolutely amazing. I love it here. It's like I'm engaged in class. We have great academics.
We have advanced curriculum and different standards. You learn everything that you're preparing for college. So when you go to high school and college, you'll be prepared more than you would at any other middle school.
You just want to touch the soil, get the height.
Being able to just go to all the classes and being able to learn something new every day. I think that's pretty cool.
Multiplication of property of inequality here.
Hardest part, I believe, math is because there are so many different parts to math that we have to learn and then remember it all.
This doesn't talk about the money. This is just unneeded information.
I have to learn how to go from a 6th grade math skill to a 9th grade math skill, which is really hard.
You have to be focused. You just have to stay on task.
Did he care about the public safety of the children?
The teachers like to push you.
They're not strict, but they want you to get your work done when you need to get the work done.
Going to be able to be rounded up or down.
But we also have a great community. I came here as a new student and I was like, oh, no one's gonna like me, I'm the new kid. And now I have a giant group of friends.
We're all a family. You come in, they greet you, warm smiles, warm hugs.
I love it here. It's a great environment, good community, and everybody just supports you.
Shonda Keys from the Maxine Smith STEAM Academy joins us now. It's a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Start us off by explaining your acronym. What does STEAM stand for?
STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. It's the focus of our school. We're a STEAM school.
And you have a big partnership with CBU. Can you tell us how that started and what it is?
Well, Christian Brothers University is amazing to us. We have the opportunity for our middle school kids to actually attend college seminars and lectures. On Thursdays, we do an extended lab, and our entire school is a STEM lab itself, so we focus a lot on creating and learning by doing. CBU partners with us in that on Thursdays in our extended day, we get to go to the CBU Engineering Lab or to the Science Lab. We hear engineering professors from CBU speak to our students. Also, we're able to do research at the CBU library.
Well, the school is pretty young. It's only been around for 2 years. Have you faced any challenges?
We are very fortunate. Our biggest challenge is we don't have enough space. So we have 2 years in a row, we've had more applicants than we've had seats in our school. So we have optional requirements like other optional schools, and there are just so many wonderful middle school kids in the city of Memphis. We just don't have enough room for all of them.
Well, STEAM Academy is the first of its kind in the nation to focus on green STEAM education.
Right.
Tell us what that is.
Green STEAM is about sustainable living. We want our students to be aware that this is their planet, we're not just consumers. We want to give back to what we have in our community. Right now, our students are studying hydroponics, or what is the most effective way to grow things just using what we have given to us by nature.
You offer classes for students through 6th through 8th grade, but you don't refer to them as just grade levels.
They're not. Our students are technicians, engineers, and inventors. Our students who are 6th graders, we classify them as technicians because we want to tell them all about STEAM. What is STEAM? What do we do? And we teach them about the engineering design process. When they're in 7th grade, we give them a little bit more freedom so they understand what engineering is and how to design and build things. And so we then give them a little bit, more space to create things on their own. And in 8th grade, we give them free reign. I know, as much as you can give 8th graders, but they come up with some fantastic ideas and create a lot of things that are usable and sustainable.
Well, as you mentioned from your acronym, the STEAM Academy is focusing on sciences and math technologies to enrich a student's education. What are some of the specific activities that they're involved in?
One of the biggest things that we have at our school is TSA, and it's the Technology Student Association, and it's club for students to go out and create things and do things that are designed specifically for engineers. When they leave, they understand all different types of engineering fields. So TSA is one of the great activities we have. We also have robotics, and we have Lego League. We have a plethora of activities for students to participate in, no matter what their interest is in science or technology.
Tell us more about your curriculum and how you incorporate the SES Common Core into everyday students' lives.
We are very fortunate, again, that we have students who are accelerated learners. We spend a lot of time focusing our education on STEM projects. So we build our classrooms on a STEM project for the quarterly project. So last quarter they were studying tetrahedron kites. The things that they learned in math helped them in STEM. In order to write a proposal, they did that in language arts class. To figure out exactly how to make this presentable and to be aesthetically pleasing, they did that in their art classes. So everything is built on STEM. And Common Core is really what we do at the heart of our teaching. So we connect all the different areas.
Ms. Keys, how many families apply to be a part of the STEAM program?
We have 100, last year we had 100 seats in 6th grade. We probably had about 300 applications for 6th grade, and we have 255 students this year, and our max capacity is 304. So I'm already stressed out thinking about telling families no.
Could you take us through the application process?
We do the same process that you guys do here at Germantown and the other optional schools do in Shelby County. You apply for a seat at a school. You decide on the schools, 1 or 2 that you would like to attend. Pick up an application from the optional schools office on a cold Monday morning normally, and you fill out that application. You're given a barcoded application that saves your slot. So you can turn applications in online if you live in the district, or you can turn them in person if you're coming from a private school or a charter school or from a municipal school.
Well, the school is named after Maxine Smith, a pioneer and a civil rights activist that helped desegregate schools here in Memphis. How do you keep her legacy alive?
Well, the first thing you see when you walk in our building every day is Dr. Maxine Smith. She is amazing. You see Maxine Smith everywhere. Her spirit lives in our building. We are just amazed by the things that she did in a time where it wasn't popular to focus on desegregation. Those things were not popular. And we do a lot of things now that go beyond the typical realm of what we expect in education. We push our students, our 6th grade students take 7 classes. We push them to a level that is often difficult because middle school is so hard, but at the same time, just like Maxine Smith, we're nurturing. Our kids are nurtured and they're cared for, and we really focus on the whole child, just as she would want us to.
Well, Ms. Keys, STEAM Academy is such a wonderful example of how there are so many great opportunities for education here in Memphis.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for talking to us about your school.
Thank you for having me, Raneem. I appreciate it.
We have to take a short break. When we come back, local high school students are watching their careers take off. Ralph Sherlow from Wooddale High School's Flight Academy will join us on set. Stay with us.
think we broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do? Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
See ya.
Sorry, dude.
Keep smiling, keep shining.
Hi. Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
GHS-TV has a new website. You can now view any of our shows on our new media pages. Or check out the latest Wake Up Germantown or Red Devil postgame. As always, we're streaming live 24/7. Just visit ghstv.org today.
Welcome back to this week's Crosstalk. I'm your host, Raneem Imam. This week, we're looking at some of the optional schools offered in Shelby County. Students at Wooddale High School are flying all around the world from the comfort of their classrooms. Let's take a look at what makes Wooddale's aviation program so special.
Seat, and the first officer sits in the right seat.
The aviation program is a program at Wooddale High School. It gives you an insight into aviation.
Hydrodynamic load on the flaps could just rip them right off.
This teaches you how to be a successful member of the aviation industry.
You push on that button, you get the outside air temperature.
It consists of training, discipline.
The entire class is my favorite part. One of the classes I look up to the most during the school. Can't wait to come in here.
Water runners should of course be up, not down while you're landing.
This trailer shows us how to fly in our simulators, understand aviation terminology.
Sometimes we're doing hands-on things like building rockets or getting on the simulator. Other days we're listening, we're reading.
For example, how does this work? What's the maximum amount of miles that this can go and how it gets there? And what is the maximum approximate timing?
More speed, more lift.
And that helps us understand how, the principles of flight work, such as lift and drag.
As long as you pay attention to what you're being instructed and told, then it's pretty easy to understand.
It gives us the opportunity to seek higher levels and, have higher expectations in the future.
It puts me ahead of the competition because this is the only high school in Tennessee that has this program.
I believe that the experience is what matters. Just doing this, it gives me a better intuition at the industry and the people that work in it.
Flaps up.
Here now is Ralph Sherlow from Wooddale High School's Flight Academy. Thank you so much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
As we just saw in the package, your school is one of its kind in the Memphis area. Students can be a part of the highly esteemed aviation program. Tell us more about your program and how students get involved.
Well, the program, as you just mentioned, is unique. It is unique in the city since it is the only program in the city of Memphis. And for that matter, it's there are just a handful of programs in the nation that have this kind of curriculum.
Well, the students' efforts don't go unnoticed in this aviation program. By the time they graduate, they get to have a private pilot's license?
They can. They have to have a demonstrated interest in aviation. They can earn a private FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, private pilot license, which requires a minimum of 40 hours of flight time. And of course, you're well aware of the fact that we have the National Flight Academy at Wooddale High School, and it is a unique facility in that we can train the young candidates for the private pilot license to have prior knowledge before we go out to the airport and sit in the actual aircraft.
Well, like you said, you have to be interested in having a private license.
That is correct.
Other students can be a part of it without wanting to be a pilot necessarily?
You can. The general requirements that we have for the program, they are just a 2.5 grade point average. We're looking for people that can, have be enthusiastic about flying. But we usually open the program to other students at the school as well. So yes, there's a possibility. You don't necessarily have to be in the optional program.
Well, those who are interested in flying, they have to log 60 hours of fly time. How do you incorporate that into their normal school schedules?
We usually, first of all, you have to understand that if you want to earn your private pilot license, we cannot really start in 9th grade in the airplane, because 9th graders are around 14, 15 years old. The FAA, however, requires you to be 16 and 17 at the time when you get your private pilot license. So it is something that we reserve really for 11th grade, so juniors and seniors. 60 hours is the average, you're correct. By law, it is required that they have 40 hours. But on an average, you're looking at about between 55 and 60 hours of flight time before they can get their license. Now, how is that incorporated into the curriculum? We usually try to do that during the summer break, so when the students, the candidates are out of school, because it requires you to be at the airport and it requires a lot of preparation time, flight planning, briefing, debriefing, and that is just something that cannot be done usually during class. It has to be done out of class.
Mr. Sherlow, how was this program started?
It was started years ago, I believe between 15 and 20 years ago. And it started all out with a grant from NASA. The Wooddale High School had a $1.5 million grant that was given by NASA to implement this particular program.
You also have something called the FedEx Flight Academy.
We have several ACE academies in the summertime. What that stands for is Aviation Career Explorers. And we have one academy in June and one in July. They're week-long camps, 8 to 4. Free of charge, so the students have, or the participants have an opportunity to network with people from the aviation industry, whether they might be from the civilian sector or whether they might be from the military sector. Usually what that takes on is that we meet at the school, at Wooddale High School, and we go out into the field and we meet people there to have students network with them and see firsthand what it takes to be successful in the aviation industry.
What awards or recognition has the program received?
We have had several awards from the City Council for our teachers. We have Federal Express as one of our stakeholders at the school. So the Flight Academy was actually financed by Federal Express, and we're very thankful for that. And so it just goes on and on. We have had students that met Obama, President Obama, several years ago. They were in the Rocket Club, and they qualified for the national competition in Washington, D.C. Those are just a few that come right into my mind.
How can we catch one of your students in action?
How can you? Well, lots of our students are out there. We have graduates that work for airlines. We have graduates that work for the military. We have graduates that work or they're currently working on an advanced degree at MTSU. How can you catch our students? Well, it's probably going to be hard to do. Come on over and join us in the Flight Academy and see what they're doing.
Well, Mr. Sherlow, it's such a great sight to see that there are so many great opportunities at the Flight Academy and here in Memphis.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming and telling us more about the aviation program.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We have to take a break, but when we return, we'll go behind the cameras of Germantown High School's television studio with Allison Long and student director Connor Sackett.
Hey, let me get that for you.
Everybody needs a helping out. If that ain't what it's all about, tell me what.
Thank you, young man. No problem.
Courtesy. Pass it on.
I got it.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
GHS-TV has a new website. You can now view any of our shows on our new media pages. check out the latest Wake Up Germantown or Red Devil postgame. As always, we're streaming live 24/7. Just visit GHSTV.org today.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. I'm your host, Raneem Imam. This week, we're discussing optional schools in our area. This very program you're watching right now is part of the Kappa program at Germantown High School. Let's take a look at what it takes to put on a show at GHS-TV.
Rolling. GHS-TV is a student-run, student-produced television station.
You're trying something new this week with your sports report.
That's right, Jasmine. And it's one of the most amazing opportunities that I've had in my entire life.
Students running everything. We have the best equipment. We have, in my opinion, the best mentors. I think we have it all.
You get the opportunities to produce, write, anchor.
I've learned how to direct, and that's something I've always wanted to do, and the teachers are giving me the opportunity to direct more and more. I've learned from each show I've done.
Let's take a look at our today's top stories.
We have access shows that are weekly shows that people can produce during the week. You're assigned to a show and you're working on that show throughout the year.
Another show that we do here is Red Devil Postgame, which is, one of the shows that there's nothing like it right here in our Mid-South.
You fall in love with this program and the time kind of just flies by. You are working during school, you're working after school, you're putting in late night shifts.
GHS-TV gives me the decision-making skills and time management skills that I'll need growing up. And so that's something that you can't get at a normal, biology class or something like that. You can only get this here at this program, and it's next level experience. You're working in a real workplace.
This program really helps you know that that's what the real world is like.
Allison Long from Germantown High School's Creative and Performing Arts Department joins us now, along with director of this show you're watching right now, student Connor Sackett. Thank you both for coming on our show. GHS-TV is part of the Kappa program. Tell us what Kappa stands for.
Kappa stands for the Creative and Performing Arts, and Germantown High School has had fine arts for many years, but this Creative and Performing Arts program developed about 3 years ago, and it encompasses visual art, instrumental music, choral music, theater arts, and film and video.
And as you said, the programs have been around for quite some time. When did it all begin?
It began many years ago. Fine arts is an integral part of any type of education. It makes for a well-rounded student. So I think you could probably trace it back to the Mabel C. Williams days. But what we know and what we have now has developed and evolved over the past 40 years as far as the theater arts program. The Poplar Pike Playhouse is the pinnacle for all our performances, and that we'll celebrate the 40th year this next year. Similarly, the GHS-TV studios have been around. I think the creation of it began in 1981, and again, it's just evolved to what it is now, a state-of-the-art program here, 2016.
GHS-TV offers many opportunities for students to get involved with their community. What makes this program unlike any other TV high school program?
I don't think you'll find anything like this in any high school, for sure. Whether you're talking about regionally, nationally, I would venture to say even internationally. It gives students a hands-on experience, and I went through the program and am a graduate as well, and I remember going to my college where I was looking at the facilities that they had, and I walked into their studio and it was a switchboard, just a switcher that was there, and I laughed and asked, where is the studio? This is it. And then coming back to Memphis, I interviewed at other stations, and there are great stations in town, but they don't have what these high schoolers have here at GHS-TV. And so it's a unique experience for those students that you can't find really anywhere else.
Well, students literally run the show here. What are some of the things they can be involved with at GHS-TV?
As the freshmen and sophomore students get involved in Introduction to Film and Video classes where they learn the history of film and video, they also learn the technical aspects of it. But once you get involved with GHS-TV, you can really participate in all of the aspects, whether it's technical or whether it's performance. So you can learn to run teleprompter, you can learn to run camera, you can do the graphics, you can even host a show like you're doing right now. And we have somebody like Connor next to me who directs shows. They learn to switch shows, the students do, they do audio, they do everything, and even learn the skills of editing as well.
Well, Connor, tell us more about some of the opportunities you've received being a part of GHS-TV's program.
Well, like Ms. Long said, I've had the opportunity to direct and switch a lot of access shows here, and they're all student run, and we basically just have the teachers as supervisors, which is really great because we get to just experiment creatively and just push ourselves to the limits and see what we're really capable of. And also, it is a dual program, so I work in the theater department as well. So I've had a lot of experience with lighting, and I'm actually the lighting director, and I've learned a lot of things that I never thought I would.
Connor, you're actually the director of this show that we're filming at this moment.
I am.
If you're not behind the camera, then who is?
Well, behind the camera right now is Haley Walsh, my co-general manager, and she's actually filling in my position right now, directing and switching. She's switcher. So, like I said, you can learn many things at Germantown High School, and once you get to such an advanced level, you can do things such as Haley's doing right now.
So everyone can be ambidextrous. They can fill in for other people.
Yes, that's the goal. It should, in class, everyone should know how to do every position in the studio, so that if we have a situation where a person's out, someone should be able to fill in for them.
Well, Ms. Long, students can produce, write, and host some of the shows here at Germantown High School, but they can also be featured on a local news station here in Memphis. Tell us about that partnership.
We have a great relationship, a unique relationship with WMC-TV Channel 5, which is the NBC affiliate here in Memphis, where our students are able to do reports. So they create the report, come up with the idea, they find the interviews, they go out and get the interviews, they secure footage, we come back to the GHS-TV studios, they edit, and then we send the finished report to WMC-TV, and they air it on Saturday mornings, sometimes as many as 3 times during the morning. And they've covered everything from presidential campaigns to bullying to things to do in and around the Memphis area. So you can always tune in to GHS-TV.org and watch what's going on in the station no matter where you are in the world. You can tune into C19. You can also tune into WMC-TV as well and see what our students are doing.
Well, Ms. Long, Connor, thank you so much for coming on our show today and telling us more about the CAPA program.
No problem.
I hope today's show has given you just a small taste of what schools in Shelby County have to offer, beyond the normal curriculum. Again, thank you to all of our guests for being on our show today. Remember, Crosstalk can be seen each week at 9:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Mondays, 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thursdays, and 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. For more information on our programming, please check us out on the web at ghstv.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Raneem Imam. From all of us at GHS-TV, thank you for watching Crosstalk, and I hope to see you again.